Justice. Okay, Charles LeBlanc here. This morning was a very, very hectic morning. It's funny when you take a Zorax sleeping pill before going to court. My God, I felt so relaxed there, but I can't get addicted to it. Maybe I'll just use it for my court cases. So what happened this morning? There was so many. First, I expected to come here. There's supposed to be Judge Hutchison, is it? From Campbellton. That's the one that we had last Friday. And I had a few issues that I wanted to talk about. And I mean, I was even gonna, personally, I was gonna look at the prosecutor, Hillary Drain, is it? Senior prosecutor for the district of Fredericton. I was even going to offer her, like, you know, olive branch and say, okay, I went to jail 2 days. All these people suffered emotional distress because of my loud voice. Can you imagine that? They're still having nightmares. Bull. And that's what I was going to do. And a few other issues with Judge Hutchison. So anyway, I showed up here this morning and a handful of supporters, and I really appreciate that. Next thing you know, Judge Mary Jane Richard shows up. So I said, oh my God. And this is like, you want to choose door number 1, number 2, number 3. You know, you don't know who's going to show up. And next thing you know, this judge. And the reason with the blowhorn is because I was riding a bicycle on the sidewalk and I wasn't wearing a helmet. So Judge Mary Jane Richard a couple of weeks ago said we're going to do the 2 trials in 1 day. I said, my God, I have ADHD. How come? How can I do 2 trials in 1 day? She said, we will manage. So came here, and then she said, what'd she say? Could you handle a date to do those 2 trials early on, close to the date that I'm going to have my trial for the blowhorn? I said, Your Honor, no. I said, listen, 3 trials in the space of 2 weeks. No, I can't do that. So we set up for a trial for January 16th. Now, I wanted a pre-trial hearing that I can ask questions. Like, there's a few questions that I really, really want to know that I don't know. So, I mean, this is the making of a movie. Senior prosecutor gonna prosecute kids with ADHD. Gonna prosecute a person with ADHD. Now, I like to preach, like this gentleman here. Look, I'm telling him to quit smoking. Smoking is no good for you, sir.
I know, but
you have to quit smoking, sir. Look at me. Look. Gained 40 pounds. So anyway. Now this is the duty counsel that I had when I was sentenced to jail for 2 days. So anyway, that's beside the point. See, ADHD, distracted. So, like I said, it's the making of a movie. Legal Aid New Brunswick says I don't have the right to a lawyer because I'm not going to go to jail. Then the senior prosecutor of the district, Hillary Brain, whatever her name is, Blaine's going to prosecute the guy that don't have the right to a lawyer. So excuse me. I mean, this is the making of a movie. So what's going to happen here? Next thing you know, we were in court. Fredericton Police Force, they showed up with something. Then I said, how am I going to handle 2 trials in 1 day? Guess what? Cop showed up. The prosecutor asked, oh, the ticket is in French. Does Mr. LeBlanc want his trial in French or in English? Then I said to myself, Jesus Christ, this is the only way that I could get out of these 2 trials in one day. I said I'll have it in French and en chiac. Now, they said chiac. I said chiac. Je suis acadien, je viens de Mermanka, je parle de chiac. I said, but we might need a translator from Quebec because fascist sergeant at arms, Dan Bussière, from the sergeant at arms from New Brunswick legislator, he's a Quebecois. I'm sorry, I apologize. He's a moody Quebecois, no hard feeling to the cameraman. And then the Fred Oiseau, Constable Fred Oiseau is a moody Quebecois. So maybe we can have them a translator for the Quebec language. Because I speak le chiac. Je parle pas le langage de tapette de Québec. So, how did it go? People say that it went all right. We're going to try to get some answers. So all I can say is slowly, stay tuned.